Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 133 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. We currently reside in a smut-riddled society, and let me delve into the topic as to why I make that proclamation. I was doing stand-up, as I always do, and there was a comedian on stage telling a joke about OnlyFans, and he had mentioned that that New Haven is the most densely populated area for OnlyFans creators. And he said there were 2,000 active accounts on OnlyFans of creators who currently live in New Haven. I'm not sure if that's New Haven or New Haven, Connecticut County or whatever you fuck you call it. Anyways, so he gets off stage and I ask, well, is this true? And he goes, yeah, it's true. There are 2,000 active accounts because I don't subscribe to anyone's OnlyFans, but I got to assume there are a lot of babes who sign up for OnlyFans, but don't actually produce any content. Like you sign up, see what it's all about. Like, I don't want no part of this, or forget your password. There are plenty of accounts, social media, other websites I sign up for. I forget my password. I need to pay money, or it's too confusing. So like I have an account, but it's like I'm not actively posting stuff onto whatever that account is. But this comic told me, no, there's 2,000 active, like somewhat recently released content via OnlyFans in New Haven. Well, then my follow-up question to this comic was, well, we assume that most of the OnlyFans creators, and this is an assumption of mine, are between the ages of 18 and 35. Then how many babes are currently living in New Haven between the ages of 18 and 35? We looked up the census, and of the most recent data we could find on the internet, there are 20,000 babes, women, living in New Haven. So that means there are 2,000 active OnlyFans accounts out of 20,000 total, which is 10%. So 1 out of every 10 babes currently in New Haven between the ages of 18 and 35 are actively posting on OnlyFans. So when I say we currently reside in a smut-riddled society, that proclamation, I believe, with the math I just did, is an accurate statement. 1 out of 10 babes is they're exposing their slit on the internet for money. We live in a pay-per-view society. I don't know what to make of this. Pardon me, I love smut. I want to jump up for joy. But again, I'm an old school. All right, I all the content I get off the internet, I illegally stream, so I'm not paying for anybody's OnlyFans. But I guess part of me has to be very happy that there are a lot of young entrepreneurs making a good living with their small business, with their small slit between their legs and whatever other assets they expose. Clearly, we are pro smut here, but that is a wild number. And what does that bode for our future in America? I really don't know. I'm a little flustered when I figured out that math. Like I thought it was maybe like I always assume maybe there are like 5 girls per high school as soon as they turn 18, or maybe, I don't know, let's say there's a freshman class in college of like 1,000. I thought maybe like 25 would be on OnlyFans, but apparently no, it's 1 out of 10. It's like that, it'd be 300. So that's quite a number. I don't even know what to make of that. I feel bad. I feel bad for myself. I feel bad for all the Johns out there who are trying to find love. Like me, I would date somebody in the smut business. I haven't had a real relationship in 2 decades. So to be man, I would fuck an orange. I would hold hands with an orange in public if she would allow me, or if the fruit would allow me. Like, yeah, Eva Adams, Violet Myers, Sarah Arabic, Ella Knox. I could go on and on. Carly Gray. I could go on and on. I would gladly hold one of their hands in public and call her my side piece, my first wife. I would gladly do so. But again, I'm a cheese doodle. I'm a weird ball. I'm not an NPC type guy. So, I'm trying to figure out, like, how many women, babes, are dateable for guys between the ages of 18 and 35. Now, I'm 41. I am aged out. I am I am just rotten fruit. Like, nobody wants any part of this. I understand. It's me, Snoopy, and all you viewers at Verbal Graffiti. That's all I have. But the guys, 18 to 35, and I spend a lot of my time in downtown New Haven. I mean, honest, when I say, I'm generous when I say 50% of the babes who I see in New Haven are wildly overweight. If you put a bag over their heads, their bodies do not resemble human being. It's more potato, grapefruit. Fruit is the theme of this episode. So you gotta think, well, that's 50% that are unfuckable. And then of the 50% that are fuckable, 20, that makes 20% of those babes are creating content via OnlyFans. How many guys would be okay dating a babe who is creating content on OnlyFans? I gotta suspect a lot of guys would not be cool with that. So you're down to 30%, and then of the 30%, are you, as a John, are you in that 30%? Like, are you reaching that? Probably not. That's probably why OnlyFans is as popular as it is, because there's basically nobody fuckable out there for a single John, or John who's looking to cheat on his lover. So it's a tricky dance that's being done. It is wild to know that 1 out of every 10 babes you walk by in the downtown area in New Haven, is doing stuff on the internet for money. What a wild time it is to be alive in 2025. So, well, I don't know. That's probably why we have not garnered a following here at Verbal Graffiti, because everyone's viewing content on OnlyFans and not on YouTube or other streaming services where I put Verbal Graffiti out on. Anyway, to all you babes who are showing your slit on the net for a profit, I'm envious of you, all right? Because we are making no profit here at Verbal Graffiti as I burp into the mic. So a tip of my penis to your slit in your small business. All right, keep it moving along. This one comes from the subreddit entitled People. Entitled Kevin, male Karen, felt entitled to my cat, ! One of my neighbors who I barely interact with at all until today knocked on my door this morning and asked if he could have my cat for his severely autistic son. I was immediately shocked and said, "Is this some kind of sick joke? When did I give any indication I intended to give my cat away?" He seemed offended because, according to him, his son needs the cat more than me. Obviously, I refused. I'm not insensitive about his son. It's literally my pet. I'm attached to the cat, and I see him as family, of course, and I'm not going to give him away. He then accused me of acting entitled and yelled that I was an entitled teen with no regard for those in need. And frankly, I was trying very hard not to laugh. To be honest, I'm concerned for his son, ! You need to egg his house. You need to go Mischief Night. Right? If you're old enough to remember what that is, that was the night before Halloween where you'd go out, you toilet paper the front yards of the houses in your neighborhood, you throw eggs at cars, you put bologna on the eggs of cars. You gotta create some mischief for this neighbor of yours. This is a wild, and as you said, an offensive ask. That the gall, the balls, the scrotum this neighbor had to come to you and demand that you give up your cat for his autistic son. I'm sorry. You got to start reading the what was that called? The something cookbook. There was a cookbook in the late 90s that kind of got banned from all the libraries. What the fuck was that? The Anarchist cookbook. You gotta find a PDF version of that on the internet and find an explosive to make and put it on his front porch. Because the audacity of him to demand your pet for his son, he can't get away with that. You cannot allow that. You gotta put an explosive on his front step and let him know, don't you fucking come near me ever again. I'm over autistic people. I'm done with them. I am beaten down. I am tired. I have had enough with the autistics. We're living in a society, obviously a society, a smut-ridden society, but we're also living in a society where it is becoming more challenging not being autistic than it is being autistic. We have to, as the non-autistics, and I'm pretty sure I'm non-autistic. There are probably a lot of you that disagree with that statement, but a lot of us, all of us non-autistics have to acquiesce to the needs of the autistics. And I'm done. The B-Man is done tiptoeing around the autistics and fulfilling all of their needs and putting myself in a precarious position to make sure the autistics do okay. I'm so fucking over all these autistics. They don't look at you in the eye. They don't understand idioms. They don't understand sarcasm. They don't have a sense of humor. And if you call it out, you're the bad guy. If I'm the bad guy, then call me the Razor Ramon of the internet, because I am done. I am done tiptoeing around the autistics. I'm done. Oh, you can't pass the third grade without an assistant holding your hand. Figure it. So if you want to call me the bad guy, go ahead. But it's not my fault. It's your parents' faults of the autistics for passing down their inferior genetics to their son or daughter and making them autistic. I am so over. For every 1 in a million autistic kids that grows up to be a Mark Zuckerberg or an Elon Musk that wants to transform the world into some fucking AI society, there's another million autistics that don't understand inside voice and ruin every experience you have at a museum or a library or anywhere where you're trying to gain knowledge. And it's just like, dude, can't we just say, dude, stop being autistic? Just go away. I think I'm pro-eugenics. The more of these Reddit posts I read, it is becoming evident that the B-Man is pro-eugenics. No, I'm not pro-genocide. I am not pro-genocide, but we gotta, the audacity of this neighbor. All right, I'm gonna give you a solution to this situation that you have. Your neighbor comes up to you, knocks on your door, tries to pressure you into giving your pet cat, who you consider a part of your family. That's completely reasonable. But then the neighbor's like, hey, can I have your cat? My son needs it more than you. It's like, dude, fuck off, bitch. Like, get off of my property. Before I read the Anarchist cookbook, sometimes Take this as a learning experience, because sometimes in life, when you're introduced or when you're badgered with crazy, the only way to get rid that crazy is to come over the top with more crazy so that the person with the crazy thinks you're crazy and doesn't want to fuck with your crazy because crazy recognize crazy. I had an experience. I think this was last year. Yeah, last winter. So winter of 2024, it was Black History Month. I was walking down State Street in New Haven, where I spend a lot of my time. It was, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday night. It was a festive evening. Weather was nice. People were drinking for February, that is, weather nice. And there was a group of black guys, and I was walking with a camera. I was taking photos that I show in between segments here at Verbal Graffiti. And so I had a camera, and sometimes when I have a camera, it brings attention to me. Oh, what are you taking photos of? And I have conversations. But there's a group of black guys. They were drinking, celebrating something, and they were like, "Hey, man, Black History Month, Blacks Made America," and he got right in my face, and I didn't know. Like, I didn't realize if he was just being festive or if he was trying to fuck with me. So I didn't know. And I didn't know the vibe because I was sober, they were drunk, we were not on the same level. So he came, yeah, blacks made America, right? Blacks built America. And I go, and I was like, what do I do? What does the B man do in this situation? Because I could just say, yeah, and then keep going. But I didn't know, I had an inkling that's in my ball sack. Right? I could just feel like this guy's he's trying to intimidate me or one up me, and he had all his boys with him, and I was alone with my camera. So I decided in that instant, no, I'm gonna out crazy. I'm gonna present myself as a crazy religious zealot. So I go, no. God made America. God made the world, and like, the black guy who told me black guys built America, he didn't know how to respond to that. Like, he was a little shook because I went God on him. I went, no, it was God. God made the world in 7 days. All hail God. God bless America. Amen. And like, he was like, he was like, what? He was drinking, so his mind wasn't working super fast. Seemed a little drunk, a little buzzed. So, and he's like, and I just kept moving. I just kept him moving, and I out crazied his craziness. And in that moment, I learned, just go religious, go super religious, because nobody wants to fuck with a super religious person trying to spout out their beliefs onto you. So that's take this as a learning experience. When this crazy neighbor comes at you demanding your cat, he's saying, "Oh, my son is autistic." Well, you come at him and go, "Yeah. Well, my sister has Bell's palsy, huh? So you want to take a cat away from a family member that has Bell's palsy? Like, you got to one up his son's autism. You go, oh yeah, like my father has HIV. Right? He's going to die in the next 18 months. He sleeps with the cat every evening. They watch reruns of Baywatch as he pets our cat. You want to take that away from my father who has a terminal cancer for your son who's going to live a long life with autism? That's what you got to do. All right? Next time, if this neighbor of yours comes demanding your cat, you got to come up with an illness or a disease or a cancer that like checkmates the autism. That way, like, your neighbor can't demand the cat for his autistic son. Does that make sense? Yeah, so just come up with a terminal cancer that someone in your house has, and that's how you can just put the kibosh on this crazy neighbor and his demands. And that's what you do. That you just out crazy the crazy. Because the crazies hardly ever get crazied themselves. So when you out crazy the crazy, like, they're flustered. They don't know how to act. So that is my solution to you. You're welcome. Let's go look at some photos. I don't have kids. I buy sneakers. Maybe the statement that defines adulthood in the 21st century. I was doing stand up last week, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, at the Elbow Room in West Hartford. I was chopping it up with some of the comics, behind the venue, late night. And there's this comic who goes by the name Caesar. I'm not sure if that's his real name or that's just his stage name. Anyway, he's about my age, 40-ish. And this is where a compliment can take you. Like, we were outside, and I don't know him that well, even though he's been in the comedy scene a long time, and he doesn't know me well either. But we were a group, maybe 5 or 6 of us. Just they were all smoking cigs, weed, and I don't really smoke, so I was just passing along to them as it went around. And I noticed he had like a nice pair of Nikes on, so I gave him, Caesar, that is, a compliment. I go, hey, I like your sneakers, and he goes, oh, thanks, they're Air Force Ones, and I was taken aback a little bit. Now I'm not a sneaker guy. I'm not a sneaker head. I enjoy sneakers, but I think sneakers are wildly overpriced because you buy them and then they get dirty within 3 months, and then within 6 months you got to buy a new pair if you want to look fresh. That's why I like leather, because you can polish it, keep it clean if you keep up with the upkeep. Anyways. But they were orange they were white and black, but they had an orange strip around like the base of them. And I was taken aback when he told me those were Air Force Ones, because like I like sneakers, but I'm a novice, and I always thought the Air Force Ones, Nike Air Force Ones, were only white and black and maybe gray, and these had a lot of orange in them. So I told him, oh, really? Those are Air Force Ones? I thought they were only white or black. He goes, oh, no, they have them in all different colors. I'm like, oh, really? Like, do you know a lot about, are you a sneaker guy? He goes, oh, yeah, I'm a big sneaker guy. And then he started telling me about how he and his wife, they go to Europe a couple times a year to buy sneakers. And because his family lives in Poland, and I guess he has some app, some Nike, a Jordan app that I'm not sure what it is, but people discuss releases and sneakers and where you can get them and where the latest drops are going to be. And he tells me he spends, Caesar, he spends way too much of his money on sneakers. But then he says, it's okay though. Like, I don't have kids. I buy sneakers. And when he said that statement, like in a moment, I just kind of took it. It just kind of went in and out. But as I was walking to my car, like I realized the weight of that statement. Like, yeah, that is modern culture of a lot of adults. Is I don't have kids. I buy sneakers, and like, that is life in the 21st century. If you don't have kids, but more than anything, I learned that just giving a genuine compliment. Like I did enjoy his sneakers; they looked nice. And then Caesar was showing me photos of when he was in Europe. He was wearing some rare, Japanese Nike sneaker. And he walked into a sneaker store wearing those, and the people at the store, they were kind of surprised that he was wearing these pairs of specialized limited edition shoe, because a lot of these sneakers they're super expensive. They're hundreds, thousands of dollars. But that's what makes Caesar special, is that he'll just wear them. He's like, yeah, I'm not making a collection. Like I have a collection of sneakers, but I also like to wear them, so I will wear them out. So all the workers or the sneakerheads in his sneaker store in Europe were shocked to see a guy actually wearing the sneakers. So they gave him so much props for wearing these expensive sneakers. And so much so that one of the guys working at the store in Europe offered to buy the sneakers off of him right there for 30% more than Caesar paid for them. Caesar declined, but then he was showing me, like, on his 40th birthday, a pair that he bought for himself. They're what are they? They kind of look like an old school like Shaq sneaker. But anyway, he was showing me like photos of everywhere he's been in the world with these sneakers and where he's worn them and how he collects them and how his wife's kind of nagging him for buying too many sneakers. But again, he's like, hey, like, why are you getting at me, wife, for buying? Like, we don't have kids, so I buy sneakers with my money. And it was like, but again, I learned so much about Caesar through giving him a genuine throwaway compliment. I saw his sneakers. I liked the way they looked on him. I gave him a compliment. And then within 20 minutes, I kind of knew what his hobby was and the story of his hobby, which is collecting and wearing limited edition sneakers. And it was just funny. It was like, oh, wow. Sometimes even if it's a stranger on the street and there's something about that person you like or that draws your eyes to that person, tell them. Be like, hey, I like that scarf. I like those jeans, those sneakers. I like what you did with your hair. And if you're genuine and you're not a weirdo looking person, it might actually morph into a conversation and you'll learn about a fellow human being. So I'm very happy. A little tip of my penis for complimenting Caesar on his sneakers. He also told me he purposely dresses like a hobo. Like he'll just wear sweatpants and hoodies so they bring attention to his nice sneakers that he's wearing. So I realize that is a pretty good strategy. If you have sneakers and you want to draw attention to those, just dress yourself very bland so that the attention is on your feet. So I am very happy that I did so. So I just want to pass that tip along. If you see somebody who has something that you like, just give a nice compliment and maybe it will lead to a fun conversation. It'll make your day more brightful. All right, moving along. This guy's life is not so bright. It comes from the text message. Sorry, the subreddit text messages. Text from my male 21 girlfriend, female 22, breaking up with me this morning. So this is the text message the girlfriend sent to the boyfriend, the breakup text. Okay. I just want to say you are a really good guy, but I can't be with you. I went from a year-long relationship where I had a family to right into a relationship with you. I'm not even remotely healed. I started to feel like I was only with you to make my mom happy. The last year was so stressful, with my mom being a major part of that stress, that I just wanted her to stop and to be happy. But I just can't be with you to make my mom happy. I'm enjoying my alone time now. My coloring and drawing and reading and sewing. I need to work and go back to college without distractions. I also need somebody a little more mature who knows what they're doing. It's not a bad thing that you don't know what you're doing, but I need someone a little more my speed. I'm sorry, but I just need to be alone for a while. Well, your ex-girlfriend is not sorry at all. We've all been here. We have all been here. Unless you're an incel. If you're an incel and you're not out there trying to get fucked, like, hey, good for you. Live that life. You will not get these text messages. Now, this has all happened to all of us. You have a tryst, a dalliance with the babe. For me, it usually lasts a couple weeks. In the best case scenario for me, the past 2 decades, maybe it will last a couple months. You're probably better at relationships if you're watching this, so maybe it lasts a year or 2 or more. But the text messages back and forth are usually, babes, hey guys, you have your routine. You have a babe and she's text messaging you. Maybe it's emojis, memes, a sentence or two. And that's what you're used to. And then one morning, you open up the text message, and it's a run-on short essay. And you know You don't even need to, you read the first 5 words, you don't need to read any more. You know, this is the breakup text. This is the HR breakup text. Hey, I love hanging out with you. You're a great guy, but I don't think we're right for each other. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm sorry. Peace out. Now we've all been there. So it's 5 words into that text messages. I know how you feel. Your heart, it was in your stomach, that just, that hopeless feeling. I have empathy for you. We've all been there. But I don't like the text message. I do not like the text message that this bitch sent you. And I'm malicious with that word, bitch. No, she's not a bitch. She's a witch. Honestly, the first sentence was all she needed to send. Everything else what was unnecessary, was uncalled for. The whole part, right? The whole part, like the middle paragraph about the middle of the run-on paragraph about only being with you because of her mom, making her mom happy, and her mom liked you, so that's why she stayed with you. As an outsider, as an observer of your relationship, having no feelings invested in this relationship, I don't even know how to rationalize that. And for you, like, I don't, like, how do you feel when you get broken up with by the love of your life, this hot 21-year-old babe, and she comes at you with, no, I was only with you because my mom liked you and I wanted to make my mom happy. It's like, fuck you, witch. Like, why don't stop blaming your mom for your actions? And how about you have a uterus and just admit that you don't want to be with our guy anymore. You don't want to be with our John, and stop pushing the blame onto your mother. Like, if I'm you, if I'm the John who just got broken up with by this 21-year-old witch, this is what you should do. Don't excommunicate her or block her on all social media. Wait 2 weeks, and then you reach out to her mother. You set up a date with her mother. If her mom likes you so much, you better get some from her. All right, what I want you to do is go on a date with her mom. You want to have sex with her mom and have an audio recording of it. Then you send that audio recording of you piping your ex-girlfriend's mom to your ex-girlfriend and all of her girlfriends, all the girls in her orbit. You send it to them. And then what you do is you go to CVS, you get a pregnancy test, and then you mail it to your ex-girlfriend. And then after 2 weeks of that excommunication, you call your ex up or you send her a text message and you go, hey, here's a parting gift. Here's a pregnancy test for your mother. I might now be your stepmom or stepfather. Sorry. You gotta, this witch deserves vitriol coming her way. That's what I want you to do. Fuck her mom, have an audio recording, and possibly get her pregnant so you're the stepdad of your ex-girlfriend. She should have just stopped. This witch of a woman, she's got to learn. Just stop with, hey, I need some time to my own. You're a great guy. I can't be with you anymore. Everything else that was written, ire. Like it's just I've never advised hitting babes, and we don't advise I hear verbal graffiti. But if there was ever a situation where you run into this babe again, if you took her phone and you smashed it on the ground, I'd look the other way and I'd lie to the cops for you. I'd lie under oath so that you would not go to prison for breaking her phone on the pavement. Do you know what was that sentence she said? Because there's one sentence that stood out to me. I'm enjoying my alone time now. That sentence is profound. Like that. Let's decode babe language there. I'm enjoying my alone time now. That is babe code for I am getting sex every weekend, and every bartender downtown has touched my cervix. That's what a babe means when she says, I'm enjoying my alone time now. So do know that your ex is already fucking every guy downtown, every bartender, every security guard with a sleeve, every cop who's doing the guard. She's fucking wild, right? She's just fucking everybody, every Chad who's got game. She's letting in between her legs, and she's already forgotten about you. Like, she probably wrote this text like 2 weeks ago, and then like, oh yeah, I just had sex with 3 guys this weekend. I gotta send it to you, and just do know, like, she's already moved on, and she's not sorry for anything she's done. This lady is a witch. It's everything she did was just like, why don't you just tell this guy he's got a small dick, he's got Peter Pan syndrome, and that you fucked his brother. Like, everything she did in this text message was just kicking you while you're down. That whole thing about I'm enjoying my hobbies. Like, I'm sewing and I'm drawing and I'm doing puzzles and whatever fucking, like, sewing. Like, what does that? All right, you're basically telling our John here, like, hey, I'm having more fun making a pair of socks out of yarn than cuddling with you. Like, your personality is so bland that you make a Jehovah's Witness colorful. Like, she's basically telling you, you're lame, you're boring, you're bland, your fuck game isn't on point, you were a rebound. She's basically, this is all like valley coded language, blaming you for everything that she had. And also like, she can't be in a relationship with you because she's got to go back to work and go to college. Like, there's never been a person in the world who goes to college or goes to work and also has a lover, a boyfriend, or a girlfriend. Like, fuck out of here with that. Like, 95% of the people are able to balance that. And plus, I mean, she's 21. If there's ever a group of people that are able to multitask, it's a 21-year-old babe who is in college and not working a real job. About 85% of 21-year-old college babes are able to hold down a boyfriend, a sugar daddy, 2 other guys that they fuck regularly, 3 guys on the roster that they don't sleep with, and then they also hold down an OnlyFans account where they have 100+ subscribers, and they're also on Seeking Arrangement trying to upsell and get a more proficient sugar daddy. Oh, and they also have 25 unread messages in their DMs this morning. So fuck her when she says she can't handle having a relationship and going to school and work. She certainly can if she loved you, but she don't, because she's a witch. And you honestly be thankful that she broke up with you. Because I see her future. I know this witch's future. She already has a kid, right? She had a family. So she's 22. She probably got knocked up when she was 17 or 18. She'll get married at like 26. She'll have another 2 kids with some sad cheese doodle Chad. They'll have 2 kids together. And when those kids are 5 and she is 32, she'll divorce that guy, claiming, I just need to find myself. This just isn't working anymore. When really, she just wants more dick, right? This floozy, she just loves random dick and not using protection and having guys not pull out. So she's going to get married, have 2 kids, divorce that guy, wreck him, and then go find another guy to wreck. So so be happy. Be happy. It's going to take some time, but be happy. Do know that your life will be better without this witch in it. But also know that she will have a better life than you, right? Like, clearly, guys like her. The chat. She had a child with a guy before she met you. She was able to get you, and clearly there are other guys in the picture, and like, her life will be more fun than your life. And that's the game. Hot babes, they have fun lives. The rest of us, we gotta create our art. So do know, even though your life is better without her in it, her life will always be better than yours, because that's life. All right, let's keep it moving. It's called, we're reading A Salesman's Wife by John Lawrence. We'll read 2 pages together aloud. What page are we? 138, I believe. All right, we're on the top of page 139. And again, we'll read 2 pages together aloud. I suppose I should take this off now, she said softly. Since we aren't in therapy, there's no point in going any further. Unless, of course, you would consider trying out our methods so you can gain full knowledge of what we do and better understand your wife's treatment. At her suggestion, lust rose with savage insistence in the young husband's mind and body. The sight of this creature was so staggering that everything was swept aside by the erotic vision before him. Everything in him screamed for release. He wanted to fuck her. He wanted to grab the leather-encased body with his hungry hands and revel in the texture. Guess there'd be no harm in trying it out, he growled in a low, drug-hazed voice. Absolutely not, she agreed, smiling at him with liquid eyes. As long as you understand that this is strictly a professional visit. Yeah, sure, he mumbled, struggling to rise from the sofa. He could hardly keep from losing his balance, and it was only with great effort that he finally staggered to his feet. Mavis rose at the same time, and within moments they embraced feverishly. Alan clutched at the leather outfit hungrily, burying his face between her hugely thrusting breasts, hungrily sniffing the subtle hide that affected him with an aphrodisiac. Brutal animal passion throbbed through his body, and a roaring surge of sexuality engulfed him. Life like a tidal wave. Learn how to read, B-man. Mavis eagerly ran her hands over his denim-clad body, reveling lewdly in the muscularity and hardness of his powerful frame. It has been several days since she had participated in any sessions, and now her own repressed eroticism rushed forward as she became wildly engrossed in clutching his body madly, eager to be fucked. That's the end of chapter 6 right there. Go suck a fat. No. Go suck a fat one.